Hi, my friends and family. It's me, Trey Smith, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I got a subject that's very dear to me and one of the key points in this whole entire broadcast series, and that is, of course, how you are food and energies for or energized by spirit kind. The invisible. Well, the dawn was breaking. Felt the sunlight upon my head, 'cause a new day is coming. And it ain't gonna be run by no living dead. Wah 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 meow. How are you, food and energies for the spiritual realms? Are you feeding the respectful ETs, or are you feeding the ones who have no respect at all? How could that be? You see, humans are really the bridge between spirit and matter. We're in these flesh suits, yet we're supposedly made in the image of the Almighty, right? So humans turn food into shit and then into thoughts or deeds and actions. Well, the negative ETs, the regressive dark side, use your shitty emotions as a drink or food. As I and many others have said, your thoughts, emotions, and actions can and will be fed to the very disrespectful dark side, and they can be influenced by and feed invisible or non-three-dimensional beings or spirits, both good, gracious, and evil, ghosts, archangels, gods, our junior gods and devils, all in the unseen realms. But how is this possible, you might ask me? How is this possible, since all that we know, according to the scientism death cults, that for sure is what we see in the 3D realms? Well, this is the mind control. You see, since Lucifer's rebellion and attempted and tragically often successful gradual attempted slow planetary hijack and takeover attempts, leading to now many stages of demonic junior god interventions were put up by these anti-life controllers. They shut down the stargates. Oh, now you must obey this. They put cities in bloody black magic rituals. They put cities and bloody black magic rituals on the ley lines, and then black magicians such as Aleister Crowley brought in many more extremely evil spirits, anti-life, parasite entities from the antiverse. And this is all not even to mention the Saturn Moon Matrix memory wipe death control system, which was already in place, okay? So by the turn of the so-called 20th century, we had these powerful black magicians such as Helena Madame Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley, bringing in powerful anti-life beings, okay, into the second bardo or spiritual dimension of Earth. Okay, so in modern era, since the year 325, as I've said many times, they found out recently it took them 15 years to come up with the concoction of rules to turn it to be so evil, to eventually by 1402 creating the canon law that said they have the right to chop off your head and take your property if you don't convert to Catholicism. So we have the dogma, the violent killing sprees, nearly endless wars up till the present era. This has, of course, led to a great proliferation of lost souls, ghosts, especially in a town like this, tortured, fragmented spirits, and human flesh suits. And, humans have become populated with many different types of evil ETs. As Lisa Renee has a single occupancy residency prayer, which would be good to go for in this type of phase if you have that problem. Humans have become generally, at least in populated regions such as, here on the ley lines of California, overrun with many evil spirits in each head. This is if they're not aware of the spiritual dimension. This is if they're an idiot who doesn't admit that their spirit realm exists. They get populated. And of course, the same beings that are responsible for creating this anti-life dogma, the scientism death cult, and big farm, and GMOs, of course, are in a vicious loop circle responsible for this, and then makes it worse. So this was not the original plan for the human race, the human species. The human family was made in the divine image of the sacred Christ Mother Sophia Goddess originally. Before the Anunnaki came around here, yet nearly all of us have the Jehovian death seals blocking our awareness of this fact, blocking our awareness of our multidimensionality, our multidimensional heritage, and how to connect to these other dimensions in a respectful way. Yet we're being thrown all these demonic entities to have to juggle in this second bardo. Jah! Open your followers to the truth. Ganja is divine, but Jah is a powerful problem. So, after millions of years of Enki or Lucifer's masterful genetic tinkering, think about it, okay? It just makes sense. When all the old school Bible thumpers and all the do-goody-gooders say, don't be negative, it's a half-truth. Because they intuitively knew the devil controls that part, but they didn't know the details. So if and when you become dominated by negative, controlling, violent, or fearful thoughts, okay, worries, or selfish emotions, this includes me, I'm not 100% clear of it, until I'm an 100% master, okay, every time I get overrun with fear, Lucifer is in control of your emotions. Lucifer is in control of your mind in those moments, okay? So I'll take a deep breath. I don't identify with it. I say, no, this isn't my thought. Once you get involved in the personal shadow work of ascension, it becomes obvious when this happens. Particularly the hologramic, artificial thoughts beaming in. Also, you got to understand that there's a thread of truth in spiritual bypassing and politically correct dogma. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to start a verbal battle over religious beliefs. You don't want to go into negative thoughts. You don't want to be controlled by negative or fearful thoughts, sure. But if you're not aware of the depth of how they control you through dogma, this is again, Pollyanna, Stockholm Syndrome. You'll never make it. If you spiritual bypass, you'll never make it. You have to understand it's truthfully good to make sure that you're not following, focusing on the devil. But you have to be aware of how the devil is in the details, destroying you if you're not aware of it. Because the dark's infiltration into your mind is most probably masterful and subtle, even if you're mostly respectful. This is why meditation, true courage, discipline, and discernment are also not controllable. This is why they don't teach you these things in school, because they can't control you if you have discernment. Okay? True courage, discipline, and discernment are not controllable by these invisible mind control masters who think they are your gods. Thus, ascension and spiritual freedom are all about self-respect, self-respecting sovereignty, discernment, and relative harmlessness. Okay? While reclaiming the true, and this is something I have to work on too, reclaiming the true, sacred, masculine principle of physical self-protection as well as spiritual self-defense to prevent violence before it happens. Okay? So here is the tall order. I won't lie. It's a tall order, folks. It's a tall order, but you can do it if you have the courage. It's a very tall order for awakening souls in 2023 to be aware of the insanity of remote control, cyborg, slave, human 2.0 race, so-called temporarily emerging, and overstand the dark side has a literal hologramic amplifier on your fearful, unaware, negative thoughts and a control grip on evil within the subconscious. Okay? If you allow your subconscious thoughts to manipulate or control you, you are going to be manipulated by the fallen ones. You are going to be someone who believes the devil is an uncontrollable creator at that point, in that thought. Just as in 2020 we saw on a planetary scale, these, for the first time, starting in 2000, they planned it for the first time in millions of years, the regressive aliens, the Anunnaki landlord gods, and the Draco reptilians all agreed the dark used fear to coerce and try to, in some cases, take it all, some cases successfully. The real good gods, the original creators, as I've said, will never break the law of non-interference. You must ask them for help, especially with this frequency fence, especially with the evil ones putting the powerful mind control fence over the planet, beaming all these demonic entities into your subconscious, yet you are going to have to ask permission to even have anything to do, any kind of telepathic communication with any real beings who love you and or your creators or other divine ETs. Okay, you ain't going to have it unless you ask. I asked Ganjika. Ganjika, help me make this video, and the divine being within cannabis helped me to create this video. Okay. Conversely, the good, respectful, divine, invisible ETs, also including your deceased parents possibly, or your benevolent ancestors, grandparents, the ones who were really respectful, the real original goddess creator, they champion your loving, helpful, soulful deeds, the things you do to help others harmlessly, that are respectful, the things you do without wanting help, wanting any reward. And they reward your altruistic and respectful services and remind you of the beauty, awesome power of their joyful co-creation always, and those things you learned in Sunday school and Southern Baptist, church in second grade. The respectful parts are actually qualities of the Divine Mother. The dark cannot hide this, or life on this planet would be over. They have to try to infiltrate. They have to be hidden. Okay, just like the good ones have to be hidden, because the dark have created this hologram where they want to take. They're so powerful at taking. Instead, you have to understand the dark cannot hide this, the benevolence of the real creator, or life on this planet would be over. Instead, all beings, me, you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, feed on beauty. It's just the dark try to drink it down and steal it and take it all. Like the vampires, energetic vampires, or even truly vampires that they are, even leading to physically consuming adrenochrome, which is pure blood full of fear. The real spirit guides, however, our original creators, are nothing like this. We are their children. We are their co-creators. They are nothing like Yahweh. They demand no blood sacrifices, no virgins, no wars, no rent. Instead, she energizes us with nature. The beach, the oceans, when you go to the beach or the oceans and the energy, you get energized. Cannabis, ganja, and all plant medicines, as it says in the Bible, one of the accurate things that they left in that was given to us as medicines. Organic food, oxygen. So think peaceful, divine, and respectful thoughts for a real, respectful future. Create one. The real creator is truly within us, but the only way to access it is to not spiritual bypass the dark's control by not identifying with their pathetic thoughts. They're beaming in so hard right now. Identify with those peaceful, respectful, loving, creative thoughts, because that's who we really are. If you enjoyed this, click on the notification bell and subscribe for more. Follow me on Odyssey for a deeper red pill, and together we can and will create a great and beautiful, loving world once again in the Divine Living Library. Love you, folks.